Middle of traffic yelling at people.
Oh, I got eyes on them.
Go on the land and we'll talk to you. How about that?
I came out of my house.
Okay, stand up for...
Where your phone at?
The policeman's body cam captures the flooded area. At first, it seems the policeman is moving aimlessly until his camera shows why he got into the waters in the first place. Just some distance away is a black car partially submerged in the flood. One look, and you will think it is just an empty car, but there was more drama lurking. The policeman gets to the driver's side of the car. What his body camera reveals will send shivers down your spine. Just beside the driver's door is a fire serviceman trying to force the door open without success. It then becomes clear someone is trapped inside the car.
Oh yeah, Mr. Bussett?
The whole situation looks grim, and it seems a dear life is about to be lost. In a moment of spontaneity, the policeman uses his baton to break the front door glass. The policeman and the fire service man help the man get out of the car and to safety.
Watch your arm. I gotta catch. Come on, let yourself go, man. Come on, watch your head. Oh, come on, watch it. Come on.
A lady got bitten by a venomous animal at the Indianapolis Zoo, and the needed antidote was at the Toledo Zoo. Getting the antidote over would require a journey of 3 hours and 37 minutes, in which 218.5 miles would be covered. This seemed like an impossible feat, and the story was likely to spiral into a tragedy. However, a weird plot twist of teamwork is just about to change everything. A group of highway patrol officers cooperate over the distance to escort the anti-venom. The situation is treated like a state of emergency, as sirens are turned on and blaring to get the anti-venom to the Toledo Zoo on time.
Is this like an immediate action, like siren situation? Okay.
It is, yeah.
I figured as much. I figured you wouldn't be calling me if it was...
As the scene plays out, you can almost feel like you are watching the climax in an episode of a medical series, only this time it is accurate. An officer picks up the anti-venom and runs into his car to ensure it gets to the next stop quickly.
Frozen vegetables in there to help hold temperature. Yeah, if you just pull up to that gate, it'll automatically open.
Okay, appreciate you. Awesome, thanks.
The blaring of the sirens and the speed of the officers indicate the suspense surrounding the whole situation. One wrong move and a life could be lost. In the final part of this anti-venom salvation story, we see the final officer delivering the anti-venom to the officer who is to administer it. With the job now well done, you can hear the satisfaction and peace in the officers' voices through the body cam.
Here you go, brother. Be safe, it's wet.
The deputy and his partner are alerted about a suspect swimming in a reserved body of water. The deputy drives down, and sure enough, he finds the suspect, a white male, swimming in the water. The deputy asks the suspect to come out of the water, but he refuses. The deputy tries to convince him to do it the easy way. The man in the water thinks he has the upper hand and refuses to leave.
All right, if I have to come in there and get you, it's going to be not a good day, okay? So do you want to do this the hard way or the easy way? You walk up there right now, or I'm going to come in there?
In split seconds, the deputy seems to have burned through his patience fuse and tells the man to come out, or he will come into the water to get him out. The man still insists on remaining in the water.
Are you done?
Am I done what? What did I
Mess around in the water. Go on the land and we'll talk to you. How about that?
Crazy, bro. I didn't do nothing wrong.
It is crazy. You're in the water. Get out of the water.
The next thing the deputy does will amaze you. He moves his boat very close to the suspect, removes his body cam, and properly positions it to capture the scene. He takes off all other equipment and jumps into the water. The suspect seems stunned and doesn't resist as the deputy takes him in. He probably didn't think it was possible. Well, the deputy shows him otherwise. The deputy escorts him quietly out of the water. On the 22nd of May 2019, a suspected serial shooter was caught on camera around the 7800 block of South Sangamon Street, Chicago. At around 6:15 p.m., a gun detector system goes off. The equipment had been installed to alert the police to the illegal use of firearms. The camera shows the same suspect running away from the crime scene. Unknown to him, all the surveillance cameras are picking up footage of him running away from the crime scene. When he feels safe and a few blocks away from where the crime happened, he disposes the firearm into a dustbin. For him, it is a job well done. In a twist to the event, the suspect is detained while fleeing the crime scene. The police scout the area and find a weapon disposed of in the dustbin. When the footage from the different cameras is obtained, the suspect is indeed the culprit, as the cameras show him going into the backyard of the crime scene and later fleeing the scene after the shooting. It turns out the cameras were smarter after all. Cobb County police officers approached a car in a private residence. Initially, there appeared to be no apparent reason for their presence around the car. However, a revelation is about to turn this seemingly aimless video into a heart-stopping moment.
Well, let radio know what you got.
2311. We're at the residence and there's a child alone in the vehicle.
With the windows up.
Upon close examination, it is discovered there is a little boy of about 3 years trapped inside the car. The sun is high and the car is scorching. The discomfort the little boy feels is now apparent as the police officers can hear him crying inside the car.
If it's code 4 with Sarge, we'll break the window out. Can you unlock the door?
23, I'm going down.
They try to get the boy to unlock the car from the inside, but he can't. All hope to solve the problem from within is lost. It is now up to the cops to find a solution. What happened next is scary, not only for the little boy, but also for us all. The cops ask the boy to return to the car's back seat.
Hey, back up! Back up, buddy! Go to the back! Go to the back of the car! Go to the back of the car!
When the boy obliges, the cops break the passenger seat glass. The little boy is frightened by this act and begins to cry. The police officers help the boy out of the car as he keeps crying and insisting that one of the cops broke the window of the car. A shop owner alerted the police to the fact his shop had been robbed by someone who claimed to have a gun. The police got there and brought a tracking dog. The dog was tracked to a nearby high school when they were alerted that the suspect just jumped over a fence into a backyard.
The dog tracked over to a junior high school, and then we got a call of the suspect jumping fences in the neighborhood south of the elementary school.
They continued to track into the woods and hit their first jackpot. They saw a turn of stolen goods along the fence line.
Deputies tracked into the woods and located stolen property along the fence line.
The suspect hid in a person's backyard, so the police tracked him into the backyard. The first backyard was quiet and had nothing disturbing. However, they met a disturbing sight when they got to the second backyard. There was no one in the backyard, but the swing was moving. This was a sign someone was in the backyard. As they moved around the backyard, the tracking dog got more excited as it picked up the suspect's scent. The police looked into a part of the backyard, and you would not believe what they found. The suspect was hiding underneath a lot of stuff in one of the storage spaces. The police apprehended the suspect and took him in for robbery.
Turn around! Oh, what the dude? Why am I under arrest?
A white Dodge Durango had been stolen in the Plymouth area, and the cops were trying to find it. By a stroke of luck, the culprits drove the car past a police checkpoint. They were going at high speed, and that alerted the police. While trying to escape a stop stick placed by the police, they smashed into two oncoming cars. But that was just the beginning. They had more drama in store. They rammed the car into a blockade and damaged it. With the vehicle destroyed, they decided it was time to leg it out. On foot, it would be easier for the police to track them. The cops easily found one of them on the road and apprehended her.
Hoodie blue pants crossing the freeway west.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get down! I got one eastbound on,
The last one was about to prove even more stupid. The cops traced him to a golf course and found him in the most unlikely place, in a dustbin.
Need to get the f*** out!
Taking the second overall, or are there two of them in there?
The officers draw their duty weapons.
After he crawled out and lay on the floor, even the cops were unwilling to touch him because he smelled like
One soul for this Durango, they're going to need to pull it off the freeway. Cover.
You guys got him? Yeah, we got him.
A police officer was following this suspect. Through the dash cam, we can see the suspect running around, trying to confuse the police officer. In a swift move, the suspect pulls out his only weapon, a knife. He makes a shocking move. He runs into the middle of the road. With so many cars moving past the road, it's difficult for the cops to get to him. He stays on all fours as big trucks drive over him. The cops ask him to get off the road. Instead of obeying, he worsens the situation. He gets across to the other side of the road and repeats the same stunt. This time, the police follow him across. Realizing he has nowhere to go, the suspect surrenders, drops the knife, and is promptly arrested.
Hey, JPX! JPX! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Lay down! Lay down! Do not move! I go hurt John.
It's night, and this kid is peeking into a woman's window. He was having a swell time until he was noticed and taken to his heels. As he walked home, he was stopped by the cops. The cops tried questioning him, but our suspect took the whole issue to a new level. He started running again.
Where do you stay? Stop, right now. Where are you? Stop.
The policeman tried running after him but couldn't catch up. The suspect ran into a dense, thick area, thinking that would end all the drama. He had no idea what was coming. The police called in a helicopter and searched the area with bright light.
Sheriff's office!
Insert plus video, 130 to 140. As they searched through the bushes with the helicopter, they caught the suspect hiding amid some thick bushes.
Get up! Now! Show me your f***ing hands! Right now! Get out! Let's go!
These two young men break into a house and try to loot it. Unknown to them, their fortunes are about to go sour. The house has a surveillance camera. The owner of the house sees the footage and calls the police. The police quietly infiltrated the house while the thieves were still operating. What follows is the shock of a lifetime for the thieves.
You're gonna pull it out! You're gonna pull it out! On your face!
The police quickly clamp down on them and apprehend one immediately. The other tries to run, but the police chase him down and also make an arrest.
You live here. Shut the f*** up. Get up. Get up. I'm sorry. You need any help? walking out of here with y'all.
This e-scooter rider had broken the speed limit and almost reached a record-breaking 100 km/h. 2 cops were chasing him. You would think this e-scooter rider would abide by the law and stop. Instead, he turned the whole incident into a scooter chase. Time and time again, it seems the officers have finally caught up with him, but somehow he would find a way to continue his road ride shenanigans. Finally, it seemed one of the cops just got tired. He used himself as an obstacle, almost causing the scooter driver to fall off his scooter. The scooter driver quickly tried to get going, but the cops had already caught up with him. He was arrested, and that was the end of his scooter adventure. This looked like a case from an action movie. The scene is covered by a police helicopter as a driver tries to evade a police chase in Sacramento. The suspect was in a black SUV and was tearing down the road at extreme speed.
Moments later, we see the driver racing past other cars and blowing through stop signs. Early on, it became clear nothing was off limits. Watch.
If speeding gets you uncomfortable, the following action will make you cringe. The car dashes recklessly past other cars and disregards stop signs and other traffic signs.
The driver goes right onto the sidewalk to get around obstacles. Minutes later, as the SUV heads onto southbound 99, it zooms down the shoulder.
In the next sequence of this footage, police cars chase after him. He continuously breaks traffic laws to evade the police officer, but the officer persistently stays on his trail.
Moments later, it's right back onto Highway 99, this time headed north towards Sacramento. It's tricky driving and even trickier work by our...
The helicopter catches sight of the SUV stopping at a residential address. The occupants' actions are shocking. They come out of the SUV and begin to walk like nothing happened.
After all that, the SUV just stops in front of a home. The 2 men inside get out almost casually at first, before finally trying to...
The police tracked one of them down and arrested him.
On the ground with the CHP motor officer
who then make the first of 2 arrests.
This driver had escaped after disobeying traffic rules.
One hour 49 Central Copy 12 up. We're going to be at Bill and Hope.
The police followed him to his house, but the driver ran and jumped the fence. After a while, the policeman asked the suspect to come out. The man finally obeyed and surrendered. The policeman came forward and cuffed him.
Get your hands up! Walk out to me! Do it now! The dog's about to come back in! Let me hear you! Let me hear you! Keep your hands...
Police were alerted to a disturbance around Broadway Street. Upon arrival, they were surprised to see a group of young men misbehaving and acting unruly. When the mob saw the police car, they started getting excited. They threw things at the police car and carried road blockades. This prompted the police officers to move back gradually. What is notable is this: the police do not take any immediate action against the group. However, they don't leave the area, making an effort to keep the situation under control. A man calls for an ambulance to help get him to the hospital. However, when the ambulance arrives, the man steals and starts driving it. The police chase him and try to get to him.
The sheriff's office says a man stole an ambulance that had been sent to help him. Officials say the 35-year-old suspect was experiencing an altered mental state and was...
However, this man's action is amazing. He drives the ambulance to the sheriff's office. The cops chasing him must be stunned. One of the car tires takes a hit in the process. What happens next should leave the cops scratching their heads. The man opens the ambulance and falls to the ground in surrender. A police officer was carrying out a traffic stop on Clyde Morris Boulevard and Beville Road in Daytona Beach. He came across a 17-year-old.
reason I stopped you, when you pulled out from the gas station.
I had no lights on.
You had no lights on.
I was turning them on when I got in that light.
And then you pulled out right in front of...
While he was questioning the young man, something amazing happened. Another figure jumped out of the car's passenger seat and started running. The police officer acts and chases after the suspect.
Where your phone at?
Get him, get him, get him, get him.
At first, it seemed like the suspect would evade the policeman. But then, there is a twist of fate. The police officer finds the suspect on the floor in front of a residential building. He arrested the suspect.
Put your hands up. Lay on your face. Lay down on your face.
This young man is the prime suspect in a case of shooting. The officer tries to convince the young man to do the right thing and turn himself in. The officer advises the young man to drop his weapon.
You don't want to end it this way, brother, I promise you. Whatever happened today, it can be fixed. Don't pull the trigger. Put it down. Adim.
At this point, it's evident that the officer has the situation under control. However, one crucial thing remained. The officer needed to apprehend the young man. Once again, the officer politely asks the suspect to get down on his face and put his hands behind his back. This was the make it or break it moment. Surprisingly, the suspect obliges and is taken in by the police.
Lay down in the grass. Lay down in the grass. Watch. Lay all the way down. My gun is going in its holster. Somebody's got cover.
This suspect was driving a silver-colored Toyota while trying to evade the police.
Tires messed up. Yeah, it looks like its front tires are messed up here.
Multiple attempts to get the suspect to stop were unsuccessful. The driver kept on moving and attracting different levels of law enforcement agents. After some time within the county, the suspect decided to turn the heat up. He moved onto the expressway and as a result had a helicopter tracking him too. By this time, his car was already falling apart.
Four vehicles continuing south on US 77, Furnish Road, approaching Willow Road.
Willow Road, continuing southbound US.
After hours of relentless chase, the suspect finally stopped when it was clear he had nowhere to go.
Pulling over, pulling over.
We see one of the vehicles pulling over.
He was immediately arrested and his car was searched. The search showed the reason he had been running all along. It revealed 10 bundles of marijuana, weighing 240 pounds, located in the rear passenger seat and trunk area.
Fusion address of 1905 West 41st Street in Mission.
The Atlanta Police Department is alerted about a business robbery in a hotel. They quickly arrived and got clear footage of the incident from the hotel manager. While the officers scout the area on foot, they hit a jackpot. One Good Samaritan claims to have seen the suspect just down the road. One of the police officers swings into action quickly.
Did he have a book bag?
Seconds to talk to you. Huh?
Did he have a book bag?
He did have a book bag on, yeah.
Yeah, they say he had a book bag. He had white shoes on?
I didn't see the shoes.
He gets into his car and drives down the road. Sure enough, at the end of the road, the officer finds the suspect, a black man with a blue bag and white shoes. The suspect is apprehended.
Yes. Get on the ground! On the ground! Get on the ground! Hands on your back! Get your hands on your back! Wait, come.
The police recover the stolen money, and an illegally obtained firearm is confiscated from him.
This is awesome. Yeah, man, stuff here, man.
I was like, you might
28 check.
You might have a damn federal offense.
A case of armed carjacking was reported to the police, who traced the suspect to a neighborhood. Knowing he had been spotted, the suspect panicked and crashed into another vehicle. Almost immediately, he started jumping from one backyard fence to the other. The police were initially unable to spot the suspect. After a long time, one of the policemen hit gold. He caught sight of the suspect inside a particular backyard. He seemed stuck with nowhere to go. The police ordered him to come out, but he refused. With no other option, the police did what they knew. They went into the backyard, and sure enough, the suspect was there, hiding in the grass. He was apprehended and escorted to the police car.
Hands behind your back! Hands behind your back! Other hand! Other hand! Other hand!
The revelation that awaited the police in the car was amazing. A firearm that matched the one used in the carjacking.
Deputies located a firearm inside the stolen vehicle that matched the description of the gun used in the robbery.
This black SUV is being chased by a police car. The occupants of the SUV refuse to stop, and the chase continues for quite a while. The police tried to get the SUV occupants to comply properly and stop, but instead, they kept speeding. After a while, the police seem to have had enough of the chase. He takes matters into his own hands. He speeds up to the SUV. This is amazing, as it never looked possible all along. Unknown to the SUV occupants, this was the least of their worries, as things were about to get sour. The police officer corners the car on the right side, and shockingly, the big SUV goes down and rolls over the pit.
Pit.
The occupants are stunned and have to crawl out of their flipped car. They are quickly apprehended and taken in.
Right, dude. It was over expired tag. They are freaking expired tag. No, I wasn't gonna hurt him or me. Are y'all okay? Do y'all need an ambulance? I'm straight.
It was a regular night as the sheriff drove down the road. Everything is all right until he spots this white car. The car disobeys the traffic and turns in the wrong direction. Immediately, the officer knows something is wrong.
Onto a one-way street. The deputy's having none of that.
He goes after the car, turning on his siren. Amazingly, the car stops almost immediately. The suspect came out of the car, and the police tried to run a check on his ID. Amazingly, another passenger comes out of the white SUV. The police also try to confirm his identity.
The deputies escort him to the sidewalk and ask him for identification. He gives them an ID card, which later turns out to have a false name.
Here's where things make a sharp turn. The suspect attempts to run away. The police catch him, and upon searching, they discover his actual ID.
Patrol car to do a records check. The passenger makes a run for it.
4842, we're foot pursuit. We got him.
This guy is wanted in Mexico for murder and also has some links to drug trafficking.
Additionally, there are signs of drug trafficking, so one of our canine teams are called to the scene. Canine Coda arrives and goes to work.
In Jacksonville, Florida, a man on a motorcycle is being chased by the police. It is a chase that lasts long and is duly covered using a helicopter cam. The cyclist appears familiar with the town, skillfully maneuvering and consistently avoiding the police on the ground. Nevertheless, the helicopter camera renders all his evasive moves futile. The cyclist gets off the road completely to evade the police. It seems he is not aware of the helipad, or he is just tired of running. He moves into a more remote area of town and hides behind some blocks. The police car is, however, able to get the needed information from the guys in the helicopter. He drives straight to where the cyclist is. On seeing the police, he lays on the ground and turns himself in. The police are chasing a white car.
Current location on?
Yeah, last I heard he was passing Orange. He stabbed someone at a pediatric office.
The culprit behind the wheel stays away from the police for quite some time. It was almost looking like he would go scot-free. Then, the police magic happened. A police officer used a road stopper to ruin one of the culprit's tires.
Outside lane
House. Continue past the bridge. He's still northbound on I-95. Bridge. He's still northbound on I-95. Believe he's...
In a last-minute desperate move, the culprit tried to swap lanes.
I'm getting ahead. Trying to cut into the median. He's going to get stuck. He's in the water. He made it. He might make it through, guys, if he can cut across.
After being hit by 2 different police cars, this man decided it was time to go to jail. He came out of his car and lay flat on the floor.
Oh yes, 10 review traffic. Just information, he is armed.
Subject on the ground.
While interrogating the men in a car, the police discover something is off. They take their IDs and run a check on them. The check brings up more suspicion, and they have to comb the car.
Are you still there by the counter line? You think you can make my 20? Smuggling. So yeah, pero yeah, they don't know I know yet, but I saw.
During the car search, the police uncover a troubling fact. There are other individuals in various compartments of the vehicle, each with boxes in their possession. It turns out to be a case of smuggling. While the police watched a stolen car, 2 guys came out of a house, got into it, and drove off. There was a 3rd guy out there, so the police apprehended him. However, they were about to get shocked.
You get in that car?
What car? No.
The car right here?
Yeah, no, I've never even been in that car. I came out of my house.
Okay, stand up for a second. If that's the case, I'll get you right in handcuffs.
They discovered that the guy only knew the people involved and wasn't a part of them. The cops had to uncuff him. The driver of the white car began driving against traffic, endangering many people as he swerved past cars. The police couldn't pursue him, and he likely thought he had escaped as he continued without any police tail. Little did he know, a helicopter camera was monitoring all his actions. When he reached his destination, he exited his car and moved on foot like nothing had happened.
To a police pursuit that was called off there, but now we're watching as the suspect there was able to park his car and now walking just casually.
He must have thought he was free until he got around a corner and saw 3 cops with their guns pulled at him. He simply went to the ground without resisting arrest.
Is that correct, Stu? Oh. Yes, we're definitely in the Pacoima area. There we go. LAPD. Oh, I'm sorry, California Highway Patrol. There you go. And it's that polar bear.
The police were searching for a suspect who had allegedly murdered his friend. The suspect had not been seen after then and was on the run.
You good?
The police had come in with helicopters and a K9 to assist in the search. In what seemed to be a stroke of luck, the suspect was found with his hands still bloody. He was arrested by the police and taken in for first-degree murder.
On top of your fucking head! Keep your hands on top of your fucking head, you understand? Kick him on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
A man was seen naked and trying to harass people on the streets. He had tried to rob a surveyor of his clothes while using a machete as a weapon. The man kept on harassing people along the streets of the gas station.
On Beersford. Middle of traffic yelling at people.
When police got the report, they sent a chopper to assess the situation. It was confirmed that the report was affirmative. It did take some time for the cops to get there. When they did, something more sinister happened. The man saw them and went down to be arrested without struggle.
Yeah, 10-4. 41 Central, 51 an hour coming on scene.
I copy.
A reckless female driver who was driving under the influence of some substance almost hit a child on a beach.
Who's driving?
The police arrived and investigated the whole situation. The first thing that caught their attention was her partially submerged car.
And a unit on the reckless driver on Smyrna Dunes.
This was clear evidence of her reckless driving. What followed next shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. They discovered the lady was wrong and arrested her.